I'm making onion rings, which are going to go on top of a wedge salad that I'm making. And I have found that when you bake onion rings, they get really crispy. So I was talking about a wedge salad, and it's just a beautiful wedge of iceberg lettuce, and they drizzle it with blue cheese, but I'm gonna drizzle mine with ranch dressing, because Drea loves that. And then instead of putting bacon, I'm gonna put nice crispy onion rings on top. And I'm gonna use the outer, bigger rings for the onion rings. I wanna get maybe about like 1/3 of an inch, something you can really bite into. See, that's kind of a nice looking onion ring right there. And I like the idea of putting onion rings with a wedge salad, because it's a perfect steakhouse meal. And a wedge salad, I mean, they're the best. So what I'm doing right now is breaking apart the onions, and I'm gonna use these guys later for the coleslaw that I'm gonna make for the top of the Sammy. I'm gonna put that in here. Let's bring this over here. I wanna get all these guys in here. This is a basic dredging that we're gonna do, a 3 dredge. We're gonna do flour, egg whites, and then panko. So let me get some water on here, because the first thing they're gonna dredge in is the flour, and I want them to stick. And if I cover them with water, they'll stick a little bit better. Now let's start our dredging stations. First, the panko. We're gonna get about 1.5 cups. I like panko because it's a little bit crispier than regular breadcrumbs. I wanna flavor up the panko, so I'm gonna get some garlic powder and a little bit of onion powder, a little bit of salt, and pepper. Then a nice mix. Make sure they all mix together. All right. Next, we're gonna get some flour in here. A little bit of salt, and mix that up. Then, we need the egg whites. And I'm just using egg whites because they don't have any fat in them. So what's gonna happen is the egg whites will act like a glue that will help the panko stick onto the onion rings. And also, because they're so dry, they'll help with the crispness of the onion rings. Now we gotta whisk this up. So what I wanna do now, so that they really stick to the onion, is we wanna get these egg whites nice and frothy. We've got flour 1, egg whites 2, 3 panko. Bringing them up closer, so we can do everything. Now we need the sheet that it's gonna go on. Got a parchment lined sheet tray, ready to go. Got my onions back here, sitting in water. Get that in there. Get the flour covering it. And into the egg whites. And then into the panko. So every so often, my mom would make onion rings as a treat. I always loved them. So I thought I'd make them for Wolfie. We've started having these movie nights. Wolfie's always in charge of the movie. I don't know what he's picking this evening. I'm very excited about it. There we go, all right. Get these guys off to the side. Give my hands a wash real quick. So because these onion rings are going into the oven, I need to add a little bit of nonstick cooking spray so they crisp up. And then into the oven. 425 degrees for 20 minutes. Got the onion rings. These onion rings are gonna go on top of the wedge salad. So let's make the wedge salad. And on that wedge salad, which is typically a blue cheese dressing, but Drea's coming over and she loves ranch. And I wanna show you guys the easiest ranch dressing in the world. All pantry staples. It's just easy, easy, easy. We'll get half of this sour cream in because we want 1/2 cup. And this is a full cup of sour cream, 1/2 cup of mayo into here. This is all adding some nice creaminess. This is the base. We've got sour cream and mayo. Now we need to add some flavor from the herbs. Got some parsley, and it's all 1/2 teaspoon of each. Dried chives, dried dill, some onion powder, now a big heaping teaspoon of garlic powder, then a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. This is gonna add the tang that's gonna give you that flavor of buttermilk without having to go out and buy the buttermilk. So there you go. I need some salt and pepper. And then you just mix it up in your blender, all together. So our dressing is done, and I'm gonna grab that good old-fashioned iceberg lettuce. So I'm gonna go right from the root, from the core, and cut it in half. And then from that, cut it in half again, and you're gonna get your wedge. There's 2 wedges. And here's your other wedge. Then, also on a wedge salad are typically tomatoes. So I'm gonna cut a few of these, just enough for me, because Drea and Wolfie don't like fresh tomatoes. If you love tomatoes, you can put them on yours. I love crispy, crunchy radishes. They have that nice peppery flavor. Then I'm going to chop up a little bit of fresh chive and add that really gentle onion flavor. And it's gonna add a really pretty greenery on top of the salad. Push that to the side. Okay, so we have everything ready to go. Let me get my platter. I wanna start with the dressing. Pour that right over. If there's any extra, which there should be, just put that right into a dipping bowl. Now let's put the tomatoes around. And this is so that Drea and Wolfie can avoid the tomatoes if they must. And then the radishes, and then chive. But then to top it off, onion rings. And the fun thing about these guys is they can kind of hang off the wedges. One hanging off there. Let them have some fun. Look at those onion rings.
So that's what they're supposed to look like.
Oh, I love that you go for the onion ring first.
Can you pass me the ranch?
Yeah. Just put it on her plate.
I love ranch.